Today in math class, we're going to be talking about algebra and patterns. I need you to get out your math journals and your pencils. We're going to be talking about objectives and vocabulary, so you're going to be writing down some stuff. Make sure you get your math journals out and your pencils. Both of those things go together. The objectives are: I will be able to identify independent and dependent quantities from tables and graphs. Second one is I will be able to write on an equation that represents and describes a pattern. 3, I will be able to represent the number of toothpicks and the number of triangles and how they relate to each other on a graph using x equals ky. Okay, are you ready to write down the vocabulary? All right, everybody's got their pencils. Great. Okay, these first couple words are going to be review, but it's important to know them because we're going to be saying them a lot through the lesson. So we're just going to review and go over them again. Pattern. Things or numbers arranged in an order that repeats itself following a rule. For example, I have triangles, circle, square, triangle, circle, square, triangle, circle, square. The rule was the triangle begins the pattern, the square ends the pattern. It starts over with the triangle, ending with the square. The second example is 1, 2, 3. Starts over with 1, 2, 3. Starts with a 1, ends with a 3, and repeats itself. These are very simple patterns, but it gives you an idea of what a pattern is. The next word is variable. A symbol for a number we do not know yet, usually seen as x or y. Variable. Again, these are just review. These first 3 words are review. Equation, an expression that shows equal value on both sides. The right side is always equal to the left side. An expression that shows equal value on both sides. That's an equation. These next 2 words are new words. First one is independent quantity. It is a variable which is not affected by other factors. It causes a change in the dependent quantity. The dependent quantity is a variable which is dependent upon other factors. It is changed by the independent quantity. I'm going to be posting these on the board or on the wall, so you'll be able to refer to these and look at them as we go through the lesson today. And make sure you get all of it written down in your journal because the vocabulary is going to be important to know. Math has lots of vocabulary, as you know, lots of words, lots of terms to learn. Sorry, I got this cough that won't go away. Keep your journals out, but I want you to pair up with the person that's next to you. Don't go across the room. I want you to just pair up with the person next to you. So there's going to be 5 groups. And I need a volunteer to come up and get some toothpicks here in a minute. We're going to be using toothpicks to make triangles. How many toothpicks make one triangle? Who can guess? 3. Who said that? Very good. Why 3? Why not 4 or 5? Because a triangle has 3 sides. That's correct. 1, 2, 3. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna pass out these, or he's gonna come get these little cups, and each cup has 30 toothpicks in each cup. So each pair is gonna have one cup, and you're gonna make triangles out of the toothpicks. And I want you to see how many triangles you can make with the 30 toothpicks. So work together as a team, making the triangles. Okay. Now, in your math journals, I want you to make a T-chart. Y'all remember what a T-chart is? We've made those before. We're going to be making another one today based on the information we're getting from our toothpicks and triangles. So the T-chart looks like this. Looks like a big T. In your math journal, get a new page and make a T on the page, a big T. On one side on the top, say number of toothpicks. And on the other side, on the top, say number of triangles. Or you could just put shape. The shape of a triangle is fine, whichever way you want to do it. So we decided a minute ago, we said 3 toothpicks make 1 triangle. How many toothpicks make 2 triangles? 6. So what I want you to do is work on finishing the T-chart with all of your toothpicks, all of your, triangles, and fill it out all the way to the bottom. We only had 30 toothpicks, so just go to 30. Don't go to 40 because we didn't have 40 toothpicks. We had 30. So when you're done with that, raise your hand so I know that you're done. Okay. We're going to go over the T-chart. We did the first 2. Now, 9 toothpicks make 3 triangles. I'm seeing a pattern, aren't you? Skip counting. Okay, let's go to the next one. 12 toothpicks make 4. 15 toothpicks make 5 triangles, and on all the way to 30. How many triangles did we make with 30 toothpicks? Anybody make more than 10 or less than 10? You should have made exactly 10 because that's how many triangles you can make with 30 toothpicks. Lots of patterns that I see. What other pattern do we see besides skip counting? This over here, we're counting by ones. What else do we see? What other kind of pattern do we see? Okay, you're on the right track. Let me give you a little bit of guidance. Yes, this number of triangles is multiplied by 3 to get the number of toothpicks. 1 times 3 equals 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. 3 times 3 equals 9. And all the way down to 10 triangles times 3 equals 30 toothpicks. Okay, who can tell me what the independent and dependent quantities are? Let's start with the independent. Y'all remember what that definition is? The independent quantity is a variable which is not affected by other factors. It causes a change in the dependent quantity. The dependent quantity is a variable which is dependent upon other factors. It is changed by the independent quantity. So which one is the independent? Anybody want to try? Do they think, which one? Do you think it's triangles or toothpicks? The independent quantity is the number of triangles. The number of triangles causes a change in the number of toothpicks. The dependent quantity is the number of toothpicks. Sorry. The number of toothpicks is changed by the number of triangles. For example, to get an example of independent and dependent quantities, the independent quantity, time spent studying, causes a change in a test score, dependent quantity. A test score, dependent quantity, does not cause a change in time spent studying. Just an example, maybe a different way you can look at it. I want to talk about how we can write an equation to represent what we see on the T-chart, the T-chart that y'all just wrote in your math journals. The equation that we were given in the objectives is, on number 3, I will be able to represent number of toothpicks and number of triangles and how they will be able to relate to each other on a graph using x equals ky. That's the equation that we were given with this lesson. Okay, well, how do we determine what's x and what's y? If something, what is x? It is simply multiplied by y. By looking at the T-chart and remembering the patterns that we saw, we see that the toothpicks is what's multiplied. How many toothpicks it takes? How many toothpicks does it take to make one triangle or two triangles? One triangle is 3, 2 triangles is 6. In this lesson, x will represent toothpicks and y will represent triangles. So, let me put this over here. So we talked about dependent and independent quantities. We talked about x and y. Which one's x, which one's y. The number of toothpicks is x. Number of triangles is y. And the equation that we were given is x equals ky. So x is toothpicks. And we know that we multiply y times 3 to get the number of toothpicks. So x equals 3y. That's the equation. When you plug in the numbers, you put the numbers in to match it up with what we see, the patterns, and how it will work with this how it will work with this lesson. Sorry, I need some water. That will be the equation, x equals 3y. Can anybody give me a thumbs up that they understand? Yes, I understand. Or no, I'm not getting it. Or a fist, I'm not real sure. Okay, those of you who gave me a thumbs up, go ahead and start researching on your iPads, on the internet, for videos, other ways to write equations. Those of you who are thumbs down, I'm going to go over this again. But first, I have a question. A true-false question. So true is, yes, that's a fact. It's true. It's not false. False is, oh, there's no way. There's not, that's not true. Okay, so tell me whether this is true or false. Independent quantity causes a change in the dependent quantity. Is that true or false? Should be true. Very good. I think y'all understand better than you think you do. What are some ways that you can see this kind of pattern in your own life? Very good. Yeah, it's a good example. For me, it's at the grocery store. I go to the grocery store a lot. For a loaf of bread, if it's $2 and I want to buy 3 loaves of bread, how much is that going to cost me? Can anybody answer that? $6. That's correct. Yes, that's correct. That's how you can use this in your real life. The next thing we're going to do is stay with your partners, and we're going to do an input-output chart. Get your journals again. That keeps wanting to fall down. I'm going to just take that down. Oh, it's just falling. Okay, the input-output chart. Get your journals back out. We've done this before too. We're going to be number of chairs and the number of tables. So we need 4 chairs for 1 table. We need to fill in this input-output chart. I need to put input on there. I didn't put that on there. Let me fix that. Input. Input. So input, number of tables. Output, we need 4 chairs. Okay. Well, over here we've got 8 chairs. How many tables are we going to need? Okay. How did you get 2? That's correct, but I want to know how you got it. Yes. You add 4. 4 needs to be, that's added, okay? So up here we've got 3 tables. How many chairs are we going to need? 12. Yes. Okay. So with input-output tables, input-output charts, sorry. It's about chairs and tables, so I'm going to say chart. What's the rule here? What's the rule that we see? You multiply times 4. Multiply what times 4? You multiply the number of tables times 4. So if you notice, it's another pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting by 1s, and this is counting by 4s. Multiplying the number of tables, input, by 4. Yes. Okay. I want you to continue that pattern in your math journal till you get to, let's see, 8 tables. Finish it off. And I'm going to walk around and I'm going to kind of see how you're working, seeing how you're getting it. And if you have a question about something, just raise your hand. I'll come over there and help you out. Just work on it till you have 8 tables and see how many chairs you need. Okay, I need everyone to tell me whether you feel like you've got the objectives for today. I need you to give me a 1 for, no, I didn't really get it. I didn't meet the objectives. Or 2, I'm making progress, but I need more help. 3, I fully met, or I can do this. So you don't have to say anything, just use your fingers up in the air. 1, I didn't get it. 2, I'm making progress. I need more help. 3, I get it, I can do it. Let's go over the objectives again. I will be able to identify the independent and dependent quantities from tables and graphs. 2, I will be able to write an equation that represents and describes a pattern. 3, I will be able to represent number of toothpicks and number of triangles and how they relate on a graph using the equation x equals ky. As a closing activity, y'all still partnered up. You can make other shapes with make other shapes with the toothpicks. Don't poke each other with them. Keep them within the area of your table. There's lots of different shapes you can make. You can make squares, you can make triangles, all different shapes. See what you can do with them. That's the end.